James Comey's fuzzy memory frustrating senators, including our next guest, as they grill him on the origins of the Russian probe.
What effort had been made to verify the dossier in October?
I don't know specifically.
Did you ask any questions or do any due diligence on this at all?
I don't remember anything about the facts that have been revealed recently about the subsource.
With all due respect, you don't seem to know anything about an investigation that you ran.
So is he the king of England, and did Andy McCabe run everything as his next most important person in the FBI? Are we supposed to believe that? The man that asked that emotional question, Senator Mike Lee. Senator, I read the transcript. I couldn't see it. It must have been frustrating. James Comey admitted about the FISA court. If I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have gotten on Carter Page. But besides that, what did you get from him?
Very, very little, other than his ongoing old-school caterwauling and blatant antipathy toward the current president of the United States. Antipathy that, I would add, is not born in fact. It's based on an unarticulated suspicion or hunch. It's based on his mood. He blatantly accused the president of the United States, even in that hearing yesterday, of horrible things without any evidence, even after acknowledging he didn't know what he was talking about when he signed the certification to the FISA court.
So he gets fired, and then everything goes crazy. We end up with the Mueller report. And in retrospect, we go back to this dossier. And the reason why it matters, we know for sure, had everything to do with these FISA warrants that were issued. Do you believe he was being untruthful when he said he didn't know, when he briefed the President of the United States, if the dossier was true or not, knowing what we know now?
It seems difficult for me to accept that on face value, given what we know now. And I have to say, Brian, nothing that he said yesterday gave me an added degree of confidence or any added reason to believe his account, which had already been severely undermined after previous hearings we've had on this, including our conversations with Sally Yates.
So, yeah, Peter Strzok, you're looking to get Andy McCabe, you're looking to go through, and then we'll find out what's going to happen. Senator, there's another major story happening. People want to say, you know, I'm going to vote for President Trump, I'm going to vote for Vice President Biden. What's the big deal? Power switches. But there are indications that our country will never look the same if the Democrats are able to get the White House, hold the House, and the Senate. What will change?
On day one, I think they will nuke the filibuster. The simplest way of explaining what that means is they'll violate the rules of the Senate in order to get rid of the longstanding rule that in order to get to a final vote, to bring debate to a close on a particular legislative matter, you've got to have 60 votes. They'll get rid of that, take it down to a simple majority. Next, they will add at least a couple of states, District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, giving them 4 additional Democratic seats in the United States Senate. Then they will probably pack the Supreme Court, as Joe Biden himself refused to dispute his plan to do that on national television just the other night. Those 3 things taken together, setting aside everything else they might do about, increasing taxes, setting aside anything else they might do on the Green New Deal or other horrible things, those 3 things just taken alone will fundamentally change the course of history, and not in a good way.
They could add seats to the House.
Yes, absolutely. And see, what happens is, once you set in motion this sequence of events, you can go decades with one-party rule. And with one-party rule, under a party that's given itself increasingly to the far-left progressive socialist agenda, it's going to change our economy and in ways that we should find very distressing.
Senator, as a constitutionalist who knows our history as well as anyone in Washington, for you, this is a message that has to get out. This isn't just a change of power. It's a change of the foundation of how we're governed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're trying to change the form and the system, the structure of our government. And once you do that, you end up in some really troubled territory. About 80 or so years ago, there was a party that seized power in Mexico called the PRI, the Partido Revolucionario Institucional, the People's Institutional Revolutionary Party. That party stayed in power for the better part of a century.
Yep.
I fear that that's where we could be headed here.
Unbelievable. Senator Mike Lee, thanks so much. I don't think that came out in the debate last night, but it really should the other night. Thanks, Senator.
Thank you.